Today we're making salads. Let's go. That's so good. Guys, look at this beauty. If you love salads as much as I do, you're definitely not gonna want to miss this video. So join me and let's go.
All right, let's start off by slicing some onion. For this, I use red onion, but you can use white, whatever you like. And then we'll go ahead and just place that in a strainer inside of a bowl.
So next we're gonna add a few pinches of salt to your onions and really kind of massage that salt in. This is going to help draw out any excess water. So once all that water drains, let them sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we'll add our pickling liquid that's cooled down. And then we'll pop them in the fridge and then we'll be ready to go. Let's go ahead and make our pickling liquid. So we want 250 milliliters of some really good high quality red wine vinegar. To that, we'll add 150 milliliters of water. This will kind of balance out that acidity so it's not so astringent. But I was never sure from what. To this, we want to add 50 grams of granulated sugar, or about a quarter cup. Then a few sprigs of fresh thyme. So go ahead and take this, bring it to a boil, and then we'll go ahead and shut it off and cool it down. All right, so we have our onions. We let them kind of drain for about 30 minutes. We'll go ahead and put those in a bowl. Make sure that you rinse out the bowl so there's not a bunch of salt water in there. What you didn't see on camera. We'll go ahead and take our pickling liquid and just cover our onions. All right, and then we'll just let these set up in our fridge, and then we'll take some of these out and add it to our blue cheese dressing. All right, so go ahead and let these chill in your fridge for at least an hour. All right, you guys have probably seen me do this before, but if you haven't, very simple. Just take a few tomatoes. Just make sure that they're all roughly the same size, and then put another lid on top, and then you can just cut right through. Boom. And then what we want to do is just lay them on a sheet pan. Make sure the cut side is face up. Garlic confit or roasted garlic oil. Try to kiss each tomato with it. Few splashes of some really good high quality sherry vinegar, fresh cracked pepper. Then I have some of my homemade rosemary salt. If you haven't seen that video, shame on you. What have you been doing? Just a little sprinkle of sugar, not a lot, just a little bit. This is just gonna really highlight that beautiful tomato flavor that already exists. Some tomatoes might not need it. These are pretty good right now, but they just needed a little kiss of some sugar.
Now we'll bake these off at 250 degrees Fahrenheit until they're half dried, about an hour and a half.
We'll set the timer for about an hour and a half. Okay, first things first, we need to get our water going for our hard-boiled eggs. I'm not gonna sous vide these eggs because I want them fully cooked. You're gonna see we're gonna pass them through a fine mesh sieve to really make them super minced. So most of the time people overcook their eggs and they get that gray ring on the outside of the yolk. So that's why your perfectly cooked egg is 12 minutes in boiling water. Shut it off for 1 minute, let it sit in the water, and then take it out and then put it in some ice water and then let it chill. So it really stops that cooking process. So there you go. Now you know. Just drop your eggs gently. You don't need to throw them in there. So we'll set our timer for 12 minutes. Let those babies do their thing. All right, so our eggs are done. We let them sit for 1 minute. We let them boil for 12 minutes. Let them sit for 1 minute. I had one that exploded on me. See, there's always something that might happen, but at least we took the steps to avoid it. Sometimes you might just get that one that bust open on you. So we'll let them sit in our ice bath. This is very important because you really want to stop that cooking process right away so they don't get gray on you. I hate gray eggs. Disgusting. One thing you can do is just kind of tap and roll, and then it comes off a little bit easier. See that? Little chef trick. And then what I like to do is just kind of go in just a little bit all the way around. See how beautiful that yolk is? Just want to show you guys real quick. I just pulled out our tomatoes, let these go for about 2 hours at 250 degrees. You don't want them completely dry. That's why I call them half dried, because they're just about half the amount of the liquid that was in the tomato is gone. And they've really concentrated that tomato flavor. So we'll let these cool down and we'll add these at the very end. So grab yourself a fine mesh sieve and we'll just go ahead and push the yolks right through. And then we'll take our whites and same thing. Okay, so next I want to show you how we're just gonna take some of our fresh tomatoes. These ones are super delicious, all different types of varieties and colors and flavors. These ones I want to cut a little differently just to kind of tweak your palate as you eat the salad. These ones I wanted to marinate. The ones we have in the oven are gonna concentrate their tomato flavor and have a different texture and a different mouthfeel. We just wanna cut them in different shapes and sizes. I just like doing this. You don't have to do this. I just feel like it tricks your mind a little bit, and I just like awkward shapes in food. I don't like the usual, what you would normally see, just cut in half. To me, it's just super boring. So this one, cut, and then kind of cut on a biased, like that, what we call an oblique cut. You know, some of them you can cut in half, but when you'll see it on the salad, what I mean, just looks super cool when you just kind of trick that mind a little bit. For our tomatoes, you just want to just kind of lightly marinate them just to give them a little bit more flavor. So we'll take some more of that garlic confit oil, some of our chives, and some tarragon. You could add basil to this if you want, whatever you feel like, you know. Doesn't have to be tarragon, doesn't have to be chive. I'm all about breaking those rules, so you should too. Splash of sherry vinegar, and then I'm gonna leave the salt and pepper out of this for now because I'm not trying to make tomato soup, because that's just gonna draw out a lot of the moisture from the tomatoes, so we'll hold off on that for now. But just go ahead and mix these around. Pop these in the fridge.
All right, next we want to make some bacon lardons. So we'll just take some strips of bacon and just cut them down into about 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch pieces.
And then we want to go ahead and add in our bacon. And go ahead and put this back on the stove, and then we'll cook this till it's nice and crispy.
All right, let's make some crispy onions. These are gonna add a nice little crunch in our salad.
Doesn't have to be exact, but we'll just get a bowl and just put some flour in here. We're gonna end up shaking this off anyways, so it doesn't really matter how much flour. That looks like about a cup.
And then we'll add in equal parts garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of paprika, and then some curry powder. I did about a teaspoon each.
And then also, nice pinch of salt, as always. Fresh cracked pepper. So I just had a brain fart, guys, and realized that I did not get the shallots that I thought I got at the store. I think I grabbed them and decided not to get them, and got home and still thought that I got them. So I don't know if that ever happens to you, but it just happened to me. So we're gonna improvise, and we're just gonna do some red onion. Delicious. All right, so we'll take our mandolin, just go ahead and slice it down. Let's put our onions in our bowl here with our seasoned flour. Make sure they're all coated. And then we're just gonna lightly fry these at 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Make sure you shake off any excess flour before frying.
And be very careful, make sure your oil's at 300 degrees.
The trick is to cook these low and slow. You definitely want to take your time with these. Let them go for about 6 to 8 minutes.
I don't want to go too much darker than this because that's when they start to get bitter. So I'm gonna go and shut this off, pull these out. Make sure you drain that oil as you take them out. All right, so we'll go ahead and season these up a little bit with some salt. Let these cool down. We got a beautiful crispy onions. There you go. Guys, real quick, I wanted to show you how to make creme fraiche, so you don't have to go out and buy it and spend $6 to $9 for a little tiny tub. This will last you a little bit longer if you plan on using it. I just feel like it's more cost effective if you know how to make these things yourself. So 500 milliliters of organic heavy cream. To this, we're gonna add 150 milliliters of organic cultured buttermilk. So what's gonna happen is the enzymes in the buttermilk are gonna react with the heavy cream and thicken it naturally. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit out overnight, let it kind of ferment, and then it's gonna thicken up, and then tomorrow we'll put it in the fridge and you'll have your creme fraiche. Super easy. Nice little pinch of salt. And that's it, guys. Real simple. That's what you're paying $6 to $9, depending on what grocery store you go to buy creme fraiche. It's ridiculous. Just gonna put this in a deli cup. Just go ahead and put a lid on your creme fraiche. We'll let this sit out overnight. Then go ahead and put it in your fridge, and you have your creme fraiche. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and make our blue cheese dressing nice and rich. This is gonna be a really nice component to go on top. And if you guys don't like blue cheese, which a lot of you don't, I understand that, you can still make this dressing, just omit the blue cheese. Add a different cheese if you like. Add some creamy feta. I love feta. You know, it doesn't have to be blue cheese. So for those of you that are gonna, you know, freak out like, oh, I hate blue cheese, I can't make the salad. Don't worry, just improvise. That's what you do as a chef. You know, it doesn't always work out. So you gotta kind of go with the next best thing. Add whatever you like. Like I said, just have fun with it. and it doesn't have to be blue cheese, so don't freak out, okay? Okay, let's make our dressing. First, we want a half cup of that creme fraiche that we made. Creme fraiche. We want a quarter cup of mayo. And we want 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of whole grain mustard. We want 1 garlic clove. I just like to do this on a mandolin. And then we'll go ahead and do some lemon zest. Then we'll take some of our beautiful pickled onions here. And we just want to chop these up. Just a rough chop is fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Toss those in our dressing. So we want to just go ahead and take some of that beautiful seasoned vinegar from our pickled onions. Drizzle of our garlic oil. Then we want to add just a few fresh herbs. I have some parsley here. You could use chervil if you want. I actually prefer chervil, but I couldn't find it at the store, so it's good to just add some nice herbaceous notes to this dressing. Tarragon works really well with blue cheese, by the way. Our chives. And then I want to save a little bit of chive on the side for the very end. Put the rest in our dressing. Just a nice rough chop. And your herbs are ready to go. All right, now let's finish our dressing. We have this beautiful Danish blue cheese. You can use blue Stilton if you want. You can use Point Reyes if you want. I just wanted to try this Danish one out. It looks super funky and delicious. Like I said, it doesn't have to be blue, so don't freak out. Yes. Beautiful. As I'm turning this, guys, as I'm stirring this, I'm pushing down and pressing some of that blue cheese so it kind of creams in with that dressing. Or you can just leave it chunky. So good. Ugh. That's a nice consistency. Nice and chunky. Fresh cracked pepper. Give it a little taste. Oh. That's pretty much perfect. Can't get that at a restaurant. All right, so there's our beautiful dressing. We'll go ahead and store this in the fridge. Make sure it's super cold. Save this for our plate up.
All right, next we'll take an avocado and just make some melon balls with our melon baller. You can also do slices if you like. We also want to take some thin slices of radish and just stick them in some ice water.
It's time to plate and eat. So I wanted to show you just a different way you can cut your lettuce. Usually the first piece of lettuce is dead, so I like to take that one off completely. Chop off the bottom here. And then I like to just cut it right down in half. So we'll just go ahead and take this and just flatten out the bottom, just so it has something to lay down on like that. Some of my crispy garlic breadcrumbs. If you guys haven't seen this video, shame on you. Today we're making salads. Guys, tell me this doesn't look like the best salad that you've ever had in your life. I think it came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm super happy with the colors, super vibrant. I love all the components, the crispy, the acidic, the crunchy, the savory, the fatty with the blue cheese and the dressing and the avocado, the salty from the bacon and the breadcrumbs. I want to thank you all for joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share this with one of your friends or family members or lovers that loves to make salads, or you make a salad for your friends or your lover and really impress them. This is definitely an impressive salad. I just wanted to show you how you can take some humble ingredients and really elevate it, take it to that next level to make, I mean, look at this salad. It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you would have to have the flowers and stuff growing in my garden, but You don't need all that. You could just have the herbs on here and get some microgreens from the store if you wanted to. It's exactly what I wanted. It's what I pictured in my head, and I put it on a plate, and that's what I love about food, guys. It makes it so fun, and it's so creative, and I love when I have an idea inside my head and I can execute it beautifully onto a plate. Can't believe I didn't try it yet. Oh, that's so good. All right, guys. That's it for me. So get out there, make some salads, have a beautiful day and a beautiful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week.